Building wealth is one of the greatest things that you can do for yourself. But making money in your sleep is that beast that you need to build wealth.
6 years ago, my wife took nothing but an ideal and faith and turned it into a multi-million-dollar business with multiple streams of income. As a woman possessed, she overcame all obstacles and created multiple streams of wealth that has impacted our family for generations to come. From mental health professional to therapist to author to CEO, she is a constant reminder of the grace of God over her life. Get ready to listen to and take notes from Stenell, the money therapist, as she schools you on money, entrepreneurship, and life skills that was not taught. No more excuses. Wake up!
Thank you for that intro, husband. Welcome back to No More Excuses, Wake Up, where we talk about money, entrepreneurship, and life skills that was not taught. I am your host, Stenell Myers, also known as Stenell, the money therapist. This week, we are discussing entrepreneurship. We all want to have money and not struggle. And we are taught different ways of how we handle money just by the way we were raised or society. We all don't think about money the same. When you talk about wealth, wealth is something that we definitely all want because we want to be able to help our immediate family that is in our home, help our extended family, help our friends, our communities, our church. That's wealth. And a lot of people is doing that right now. It may not be the term of wealth because they have a great giving heart. What I want to break down is passive income, residual income, and what that looks like. Once you get a good understanding of the both, you'll be able to really decipher where you are and how you can continue to be successful with your money. Passive and residual income, they are different, but they are kind of the same. Let me break down income. Income is basically money, we all know that. Money that a person receives from working or business receive, such as my businesses receive after we produce a service. That's your income. So when you go to work, you get money. Either way, if you're working for someone else or if you have a business, you get money. That's your income that is coming in. Passive income and residual income are in two different categories. The same, but not the same. Passive income is money earned from maybe little effort, maybe no effort, such as a rental property. And remember, I had my rental property every 30 days. That money was coming in. The income that was coming in every 30 days, that was coming from my tenants. I had two tenants because I had a duplex. One of the tenants paid regular, and the other tenant, which I break down, was $700 a month and ended up being $750 after years and years. And the other tenant was paying $106 because he was on Section 8, and Section 8 was paying the majority, which was $950. That is passive because after I paid the mortgage and paid the sewer and the water and made sure that I had money up just for things that would break or things that needed repairs, that was my net. The passive was after getting the house and doing all the hard work and coming up with the down payment, whatever's left over, that's passive. What's coming in and you're not doing anything, you're not working for it, you're not waking up in the morning. I didn't have to wake up in the morning and physically open up the door for my tenants. Passive income is once you start it and now money is constantly coming in, that's passive. And you see a lot of that in social media. A lot of people are really getting on the Airbnbs. Airbnb is a good market because it's passive income. Once you rent that home out for a couple days or a week, and it's just coming in. And after you pay your expenses, it's passive. It's not something that you are physically working at. If it is a repair, you're repairing your property that is producing you money. Passive income is really great. Some examples of passive income as I said, is rental properties. And I can dive into rental properties all the time because that's what I do. Another form of passive income is YouTube. Y'all know YouTube is hot and popping. Boy, YouTube University, I learned a lot of my podcasting skills from YouTube. YouTube is the bomb.com. YouTube is another way to produce passive income because the more that you have videos and knowledge and giving people that information, YouTube will pay you. I'm not at that point yet because I have all these different things going on over here with these businesses. It's really hard. My YouTube channel really struggles because I am not as consistent as I could be with YouTube because I just doing so much with these businesses. When you getting fed real good, you focus on what's feeding you. And my meat and my potatoes is coming from my businesses. Although my podcast, I am going to start recording and putting it on YouTube because I think that people do need to see me, and I'll have both scopes. You'll be able to see me on YouTube as I am also talking to podcast listeners such as yourself on Apple and Spotify and where you listen to your podcast. So YouTube is really good for passive income. Any of you that is really into producing YouTube videos of your niche or whatever you're good at, you can make some money with that. It is really good. Writing a book. You know, that's speaking my language. My book, Whipping Debt's Ass, is coming to you soon. Yes. Whipping Debt's Ass. You know, I got to plug my book in. Writing a book is definitely passive. When I wrote my first book, Who's Going to Pay the Mortgage? A Woman's Guide to Relationship Recovery, back in 2011, social media wasn't even like this at all. We did have Facebook, but it was harder. I was more physically going out in Delaware and Philadelphia trying to sell my book. I was in those streets, y'all, but it's easier now. So my book, Whipping Debt's Ass, in Amazon, and although my book, Who's Going to Pay the Mortgage, was on Amazon, it's just a whole different beast. The world is different. My book will be on Kindle, just everywhere. It's a different beast. It's definitely different. Writing a book is definitely a great way to get passive income because even when I wrote my book, Who's Going to Pay the Mortgage, I did have residuals coming in. It wasn't much, but it was the fact that I did it, and I self-published that book as well as this one. But my first book, I was in that library like really learning, really reading. It was just so different back in 2011 how to really get my books out in library. It was just more hands-on. Now you get a reputable self-publishing company. They do everything for you. But even to get your books in library, it's something called the Congress of Libraries. I believe that's the name, and it's physical work that you have to do. I'm telling you, writing a book is a good way, and I hope that my book does well. Please support me. Another way of making passive income is creating an online course or working one-on-one with a person in your niche. So let me break that down for you real quick. I created an online course called Money Therapy Institute, and it was a struggle. It was not easy because the online course, I created it, and what I learned is that after I spent so many months creating a course, I was creating something that I thought people really needed because I had the information. But honestly, when I switched from creating or doing that course, and it took a lot of work, but when I switched that to one-on-one and built it around that person, it was a different beast. And I heard that a lot when I was creating the course. I heard people say, build it around the person, because, you know, YouTube is the bomb. Although I'm over here as this business owner, trying to reach people on social media is different. It is a whole different beast because you struggling to try to get people to buy. But over here, I have these contracts, the staff that will do the work, creating in my agencies that I get the contracts and I get the clients. So it's just different. So what I did learn is that creating a one-on-one was more intimate and personable and very personable. But when you have an online course, you can get more people at the same time. So it all depends on what works for you. One-on-one definitely works for me. That the residual income definitely works. It all depends on what you're good at and how you do it and how you market it as well. So these are some examples, some ideas of passive income. But my baby is real estate. My baby is the book. And I do like the one-on-one course where I help people with their finances and starting their business. Another form of passive income is investments. I don't know if people talk about it, but when you invest, I have investments. And when you invest, that's money that is making you money now. It also, you can lose money. But to me, I put investments in this category, your mutual funds. I put it in the passive income category because when it make money, that baby make money, and all you did was put up the money. So investments for me is another form of passive income. Now let's break down residual income. Y'all see how I said that, right? Residual income, your net income. And I just spoke about the net income, and I broke down in another episode on what is coming in and your goods and your service and what is going out. Your net. With residual income, it's after everything is paid. It's income that you will continue to receive after the completion of the income producing the work. For instance, again, residual income is the same. Your rental, right? So it's after. I just broke that down. So with the rent that come in, then after I get the rent that come in, I pay the mortgage and I pay the sewer and the water and all of that. The net, what's left over, that is the residual income. Although my passive is with the rental, and I'm using this rental property as an example. So although I have this rental property, I put the money up, I did everything to get the rental property. Now the rental property is going. Every month I'm making $1,700. I didn't do anything. I didn't open up no doors for anyone in the morning. I did nothing. That is passive. That $1,700 is coming. Every 30 days it's coming. That's why it is also important to really think about Section 8, because Section 8, you're going to get your money regardless. Now, you might not have the best people. You might get a couple roaches up in there, and you're going to have to handle and shut that down. I had all kinds. I know I'm getting off track, but I had all kinds of policies and agreements and all this stuff on roaches, y'all, because I don't do roaches. I don't do roaches in my house. I don't do roaches in my properties. I don't do roaches. So you might get a couple roaches, but you're going to get that money. Get your policy in place. Get you some Terminex, and you let them people that producing the roaches know that they're going to pay for your Terminex bill if they continue to do that. And guess what? The roaches will disappear. Suddenly they learn how to be clean. I say all that to say is Section 8 is great. It tastes good, it smells good, it's great. So that residual income, because when you have a person that may have struggles, especially with COVID, let me tell you, during COVID, I had not one problem. Even with my tenant that was not on Section 8, I didn't have not one problem. Not one. Because what we charged them, our rent, the rent never went up, but not one problem. Passive income is what's coming in. The residual income is what's left over. They work hand in hand. They are together like twins. Like they are great together. Although passive income and residual income is different, they're kind of the same, because you have one that is passive. It's in your sleep. Like I said in the beginning, you making money in your sleep. You have a rental property and you making money in your sleep. Things that you're doing that is passive, that money is coming in and you're not constantly working for it. You're making money in your sleep. With residual income, again, that is what's left over. So an example of residual income, let's say you have a house and you have a couple bedrooms. No one's in that room. You want to rent that room out. I don't rent my rooms out to strangers because that's not me, but people do it. If you want to rent out a room, that is money that is coming in. if you want to sell items, you good at baking and you have the bomb.com cookies, and you know people just love these cookies and want these cookies, that's another part of residual. I can make some baked macaroni and cheese that will make you slap your mama and your grandmama at the same time. And if I would if I would bake that and sell it, I know it would make money. It's just southern. It's so good. It's so great. That is money. Again, that is also passive. It's money that is coming in. Now, with that, let me explain. If I bake macaroni and cheese, it's not passive income because I'm physically baking the macaroni and cheese. But if I give my recipe to someone and they bake the macaroni and cheese, and I am producing money and I'm not doing anything for it, but I'm just getting money from actually starting this macaroni and cheese business as an example, and this money is constantly coming in, just like the rental business, just trying to give you something to think about, and it's constantly coming in, and all I did was the startup work and gave the person a recipe and all that, and now the money is coming in, that's passive. So for people that have businesses and the money is constantly coming in, that's passive. What's left over is the residual. So even when you have a job and I talk about another paycheck, and you go out there and you work and you make money so you can pay off your debt. Once all that debt is paid and you have no more debt and you live in the lifestyle that you want to live and you continue in that job, that money, that's residual because it's what's left over. You just added on to your other income. You already added on. So your net is your residual. That's what's left over. You want to think of how much residual can you have left over. You want to think of that net, that bottom line. In business, we talk about net. We talk about having that bottom line. If you're not in business and it's your personal income, I still want you to think about that net. I want you to think about that bottom line. Because that bottom line, your residual, that is what's going to carry you over. And that money that's left over will carry you over into whatever it is that you need to do. If you want to save that money for a home, if you want to save that money for your kids' college, whatever you want to do that's left over. In my case, all my funds, my money comes from the top. When I pay myself and I get paid, and I pay myself from Joy Making a Difference and a Second Touch. The money that I get, my net in the bank, everything that came out of it already. All my investments came out of it. My personal IRA came out of it. Everything, life insurance, everything came out of that. The $529 for my daughter, my other daughter that's in Atlanta, that money came out. Every single thing came out. What's left over is my net. With that net is what I use to pay my bills in my home. Yeah, it's a lot. And I hope it helped. But passive income, residual income, that's terms that you're going to hear, or you do hear a lot, and I wanted to make sure that I broke that down, because that passive income, making money in your sleep, is good. It is a great recipe, and that's where there's a point in your life that you say, wow, wealth is here, because you're not physically doing anything. You're not, physically. My passive income comes from my businesses, because I have staff that I have trained and taught, and I have a great team. My team, oh my gosh, it's the bomb. Shout out to Jeannie, shout out to Maricela. It's just a team. If you have good people, oh my gosh, you really can have passive income. You really can create wealth for not only yourself, but even for my businesses. For Second Touch, my staff, they already know Christmas is always, they know they're getting money, and they get good money. And now I'm able to increase every year how much money they get, and to be able to have a retirement account for my business is just amazing. So treating them well is what wealth looks like too, because wealth is just not about you treating you or treating your immediate household. Wealth looks like you treating everybody how you would want to be treated in any environment. So y'all, I hope I gave you some nuggets of wisdom. Go out there, y'all create, y'all get that passive income. Make sure that your net, your residual income is enough to carry you over to whatever you want to do. Go out there, slay, and do you. Y'all know what I always say, no more excuses. Wake up. Thank you for listening to No More Excuses, Wake Up. If you love the show, please subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes or Spotify. To learn more about me and my different agencies and what I do, go to StenellMyersEnterprises.com. While you're there, check out Money Therapy Institute and watch my video where you will see me doing a little acting, showing you how I fought and kicked down closed doors. You can also click on Stenell the Money Therapist and get my free budget spreadsheet. And of course, you can email me at contact@StenellTheMoneyTherapist.com. I'm also on social media on Facebook at Stenell the Money Therapist and Instagram at Stenell the Money Therapist. No more excuses. Y'all know what y'all need to do. Wake up. Hey smart people, I have a 3-month one-on-one personal or business coaching program. As you all know, I paid off $50,000 in debt in 1 year. I will teach you how I stayed out of debt using my burner method and personalized spreadsheet I created to fit my lifestyle and keep me on track. You will learn how to understand your money communication style using my financial treatment plan. Also, if you own a small business and you feel stuck with cash flow or feel disorganized, I teach business owners and self-employed entrepreneurs such as yourself to financially maximize your money, build wealth using your business income, and retire working on the business while your business continues to run, such as myself. You can book a call with me. The link is in the show notes.